In the world of combat sports, very few stories end perfectly. Legends rise, they fall, and their legacies often fade beneath the weight of time. But Khabib Nurmagomedov's story was different. It was flawless, untarnished, and disciplined to its core. 29 wins, 0 losses, and a promise to his late father that sealed the ending forever. He walked away on top, untouchable, unbroken, undefeated. But what if that ending never came? What if Khabib never retired after UFC 254? What if the eagle spread his wings a little longer, chasing history, legacy, and the ghosts that only great champions can see when there's no one left to beat? Let us step into that alternate reality, the world where Khabib Nurmagomedov stayed to rule the octagon. The year is 2020. Fight Island stands silent, bathed in the eerie glow of floodlights as the world watches Khabib dismantle Justin Gaethje with flawless precision. It's emotional, dominant, poetic. The performance of a man completing his destiny. But this time, when the fight ends, Khabib doesn't remove his gloves. He kneels, stares at the canvas, breathes deeply, the memory of his father heavy in his heart. And instead of goodbye, he whispers softly to himself, "Not yet." The world watches in stunned silence as Khabib walks out of the octagon still the champion. But now, burning with a new fire, the story that was supposed to end begins again. Immediately, the MMA landscape changes. Dana White knows what this means. The lightweight division is still locked under the reign of an undefeated king. Contenders scramble, but every fighter in the top 5 has one name in their sights: Khabib. Charles Oliveira is rising fast, Dustin Poirier wants redemption, and Conor McGregor, always chasing shadows of his own legend, begins calling out, "The Eagle," once again. But this time, Khabib's purpose is different. With his father gone, he's not fighting for family anymore. He's fighting for legacy. In interviews, he says quietly, "My father wanted me to be the best. Now I want to be the greatest." By early 2021, tension electrifies the sport. The fight fans never got in reality finally happens in this timeline. Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Charles Oliveira, the clash between relentless wrestling and slick jiu-jitsu mastery. UFC 262 becomes the stage for history. The fight begins at a furious pace. Oliveira lands crisp knees and counters, forcing Khabib backward for the first time in years. Round 2 shifts the rhythm. Khabib cuts the cage, closing space, turning the octagon into his battlefield. By round 3, the familiar pattern emerges. Khabib's suffocating pressure begins to drown Oliveira's creativity. The crowd senses it. Oliveira throws a desperate triangle attempt, but Khabib escapes with calm precision, transitions to top control, and rains down punishing ground and pound. By round 4, Oliveira's energy fades. Khabib traps him in an arm triangle choke, a poetic echo of how he ended Gaethje, and forces the tap. 30-0. Still champion, still untouchable. The MMA world erupts. 30-0 becomes a rallying cry, a dare to history. Analysts wonder if anyone can stop him. And then the inevitable name returns, Conor McGregor. This time there's no whiskey, no chaos, no insults about family, just focus and unfinished business. McGregor says, "He beat me once. I want to test myself again, as a man." The rematch is set. Late 2021, Las Vegas. The T-Mobile Arena is sold out. The world holds its breath as two icons enter the cage for the final time together. Round 1 begins, McGregor sharp, composed, landing clean left hands and brutal leg kicks to slow Khabib's pace. For a moment, Khabib stumbles, taking a deep breath, but like a wave returning to the shore, he surges forward, finds the clinch and drags McGregor into his world. Round 2, domination. Khabib's relentless ground control silences the crowd. By round 3, McGregor's breathing is heavy. Khabib takes his back, and instead of insults, whispers words of respect. Seconds later, the choke tightens. McGregor taps. It's over. Again, 31-0. This time there is no bad blood, only mutual respect. McGregor kneels beside Khabib and says softly, "You were always the mountain, eh?" Now, there is no debate. Khabib isn't just the greatest lightweight ever. He's chasing all-time greatness. The names of Georges St-Pierre, Anderson Silva, and John Jones echo in comparison. And then the unthinkable becomes real. A super fight. Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Georges St-Pierre. Dana White calls it the fight to define the GOAT. GSP, retired but always training in silence, agrees. For legacy, he says, "I'll do it." The build-up is respectful, almost spiritual. Two masters of control and discipline facing off to define an era. The fight takes place at a catchweight of 165 pounds, neutral ground. Round 1 is chess. GSP's jab flicking like lightning. Khabib feinting takedowns, each man testing the other's rhythm. Round 2, Khabib gets the takedown, grinds GSP against the cage, suffocating him with his trademark control. Round 3, GSP adapts, lands crisp combinations, even scores a brief takedown of his own. Round 4, exhaustion. Both warriors push through pure will. In the final round, Khabib lands a perfectly timed double leg, holding top position until the horn. The decision. Khabib, by unanimous decision. 32-0. The GOAT debate ends that night. But Khabib isn't done yet. Now he looks upward, toward a new mountain. The welterweight division. Fans doubt him, wondering if his grappling will work against bigger, stronger men. Khabib answers the question himself. In 2022, he faces Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian nightmare. It's billed as the greatest wrestler versus wrestler fight in UFC history. Round 1 is tense. Both men neutralize each other. Round 2, Khabib's chain wrestling starts breaking through. He grinds Usman's base, dragging him into deep waters. Round 3, Usman fires back with heavy punches, but Khabib refuses to give space. Round 4, exhaustion takes over. Khabib lands takedown after takedown, controlling the pace until the final bell. The judges render a split decision. Khabib wins, 33-0, two-division champion. History rewritten. At this point, Khabib's dominance transcends the sport. He's not just a fighter anymore, he's a symbol. His influence shapes a new generation of fighters. Dagestan becomes the epicenter of modern MMA. Disciples of his style, humility, control, and mental strength flood the sport. The UFC changes. Trash talk fades, replaced by quiet confidence and discipline. Fighters speak of honor again. The Dagestani code becomes a global standard. But even legends cannot escape time. By 2023, Khabib faces a new kind of question, one that hits closer than any punch ever could. His protege, Islam Makhachev, now ranked number 2, is storming through the division. Fans begin whispering, will they fight? Khabib refuses at first. He's my brother, he says. I will never fight him. But Islam insists. To be the best, I must beat the best. Dana White calls it the most honorable fight in UFC history. Khabib versus Makhachev, the student versus the master. Fight night arrives. No trash talk, no animosity, just two men testing destiny. Round 1 is slow, almost reverent. Each reads the other's movement perfectly, anticipating every strike, every feint. Round 2, Makhachev lands a clean knee in the clinch. Khabib smiles and nods, acknowledging the student's growth. Round 3, Khabib gains top control, grinding with the old dominance, but Islam escapes and answers back. By round 5, both men are drenched in sweat, exhausted, but neither willing to break. When the final horn sounds, they embrace, tears in their eyes. The decision, a draw, 33-01. The torch quietly passes. Khabib takes the microphone, voice steady but soft, and says, "Now, I am free." He leaves the belt with his student and walks away from the octagon, not in sorrow this time, but in peace. In this alternate reality, Khabib Nurmagomedov's career extends into myth. His record, 33 wins, no losses, 1 draw. His influence redefines MMA forever. Islam Makhachev becomes champion, Dagestan becomes the new heart of the sport, and the UFC enters an era defined not by ego, but by respect. Khabib himself becomes more than a retired fighter. He becomes a teacher, philosopher, and leader. He builds academies around the world, mentoring fighters not just in grappling, but in life. When asked why he finally stopped, he smiles and says, "My father taught me to win with honor. Now I teach others to live with it." And that's the beauty of this what if, because even though Khabib's real career ended perfectly, this alternate version reminds us what greatness might have looked like if perfection had continued to fly a little longer. But maybe, just maybe, that's why he stopped when he did, because true legends know not only how to fight, but when to stop. And in both timelines, one truth will never change: Khabib Nurmagomedov remains undefeated forever.